What's up guys? It's Ben. Today I'm coming with another video. Today it's going to be my favorite movies of all time as of 2021. So I thought this was a good idea because one, it's forcing me to actually create a favorite movies of all time list. Because I've been putting it off for like years. And so now I've finally been able to control myself in doing this under the guise that it's okay because next year I can just create another list. And then the second part of it is, I think it's just a good idea to keep track of this. I think it'll be interesting years down the line what my favorite movies of all time were in 2021 when it's like 2025 or 2030. So, yeah. I do want to preface this by saying that this is 100% a favorites list. Because if this was a best list, you would understandably have some questions about my mental stability for some of the movies that are going to be on this list. But it's not. It's a favorites list. These are movies that I just really, really like and really enjoy. And so please take it as that and nothing more. Anyways, so let's get into this. My first movie, number 10. Cars. I love this movie. I love this franchise. I know the second one sucks. That's fine. But I still enjoy it because I actually do like the second one for entertainment value because good animation. And I like Mater. I think he's funny and entertaining. And even though the story kind of really sucked in that movie, I enjoyed it and I thought it was cool cars. So that's what I look for in my Cars movies. Anyways, this movie I found to be really entertaining because they did a lot of throwbacks with like 1950s cars and stuff like that because of this town and how this town was basically stuck in the past. And I recently found out that this plot of this movie is basically another movie called Doc Hollywood with Michael J. Fox. And you know what? That's okay. I don't care. Because I love Lightning McQueen. I love Mater. Mater is one of my favorite characters. I think he's just funny. And I understand that people think he's annoying, but I don't really get it. So I just think it was a good use of the cars and just having fun with racing in this universe where cars are omnipresent. Well, not omnipresent, but like cognizant. I really like that concept. So yeah, Cars is my number 10. Number 9, Age of Adaline. This is a favorite love story of mine. I thought it was just a really interesting sci-fi concept that they took and made it into a love story, and I thought it was really well done. It was a really interesting concept, and I absolutely loved the performances, and I really felt for the main character. I thought that she did an amazing job, and I really loved how they did this story. There's a lot in it, and I could understand how you could get lost in it, and I also understand that the sci-fi-ness is it's a little wacky, but I found it very romantic, and I found it very charismatic and enticing. And that's why I like this movie. Number 8, Clue. I really like Clue. I think it's a very interesting, entertaining movie. It's a little cheesy and campy, and the story's a little bit all over the place, but not bad, and it actually really works with the concept. It really works with the tone that they were trying to go for, and I thought it was very interesting how they told this story. And also, this movie has 3 endings. And so, depending on the theater that you in, was the movie ending that you got. And I find that really interesting as well. And I love Tim Curry's performance. I thought he was great. So, I like this movie. Number 7, Shrek. I really like Shrek. I think it's a very interesting story, and in the movie critic, like movie savant community, right, I think it's underappreciated. In the real world, it's completely appreciated. In some senses, probably a little bit too much. But I don't think it's analyzed from a critical standpoint as much as it could be to show the goodness that they wrung out of it. I really love the story and about conformity, and they use Donkey and the soundtrack to do that. Because Donkey is the most is who he is character. Well, not, that was a little bit hyperbolic, but he's a very I am who I am kind of character. And they use that very heavily in this movie, and I thought that was brilliant. And also the soundtrack, I saw this video by this guy named Sideways talking about it. He does a lot of music stuff, but it was very interesting, him talking about how they use the soundtrack and pop music to help tell their story really well. And, I loved the dynamic between Shrek and Fiona. I thought they were great performances by Cameron Diaz and Mike Myers, and I really like this movie. Number 6, King Kong 2005. I kind of have a sweet spot in my heart for Peter Jackson. I understand people get frustrated with him because he makes long movies, but I think King Kong 2005 is a very interesting story, and I thought it was a very gripping love story, and there are some amazing shots that I loved about this movie. And there's one particular scene in New York on ice that's just fantastic, and I love the end of the movie, and Jack Black was fantastic as well. He was really good. So that, just, I understand that the story was different from the original King Kong, but I think that this was a great direction that they took it. And also on top of that, PSA, another Peter Jackson movie. Oh, Shrek. What is it? It is They Shall Not Grow Old. That's what it is. You should check that out. It's a very interesting documentary. I thought it was very well shot and a well-told story, even though it's a documentary. I like that movie. You should definitely check it out. Anyways, next movie. Next up, we got number 5, Ghostbusters. This is just a really fun, entertaining, sci-fi action ghost movie. It's a very interesting, funny, cool movie. They use a lot of comedy, but they also use action, and they make it really cool, and Bill Murray is fantastic. Yeah, just great movie. Number 4, Reservoir Dogs. This is my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, and I think it was his best handling of story. I think he took care more so than usual when he was making this one. A lot of times I think he can focus on action, blood, quippy dialogue, and great shots, but he doesn't really try to connect it all together a lot. He does, but he doesn't try to heavily connect everything back together. A lot of times it seems like he's writing scene to scene. And so this movie did that differently, and I thought it was a very interesting, gripping story with fantastic performances, and I really like the movie. Number 3, The Exorcist. This is my favorite horror movie. I think William Friedkin directed a fantastic movie. I really loved where they went with the story, and I thought it was a pretty scary movie. It takes a lot of realism and blends it with some supernatural elements, but it makes it seem very real, and that is the scariest part of this movie. And just a well-told story, well shot, well acted, just fantastic. Great horror movie. My number 3. My number 2, the original Blade Runner. I love this movie. It's a very interesting story, and it has a lot of great themes, and I really love the way that they went with it. And I really love pretty much all the characters in it, from Rutger Hauer's character to Rachel, who I don't remember the actress's name, but her character's name is Rachel, and also even Harrison Ford's character, and the overall themes of humanism and what actually makes you human, and how these replicants, even though they're doing bad things, are relatable because they're trying to live. Because their life is short, and the movie just handled it so well. And this movie is shot fantastically. The sets are fantastic, and I love this movie. My favorite movie of all time is Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. This movie just always spoke to me. I can really relate with the characters, especially Brigham Thompson, played by Michael Keaton, and his struggle with becoming an actor, the search for fame, and how he's kind of all wrapped up. Actually, he just is all wrapped up in this universe. And there are other characters that are like that as well, but him especially, where it's just all about fame, and they display that beautifully through his actions and his relationships with other people, like his daughter, who's played by Emma Stone, and his best friend, played by Zach Galifianakis, who's kind of his manager and is helping him direct this play. And like, also Edward Norton's character, Mike Shiner, he's also a fantastic example of that as well. And the character development, and also the cinematography is kind of underrated as well. There are a lot of beautiful shots with this movie. And also the score is great. And this movie is amazing. It's my favorite of all time. So that's going to be it. Please watch out for my video next week, where I'm going to be doing movies that should have made this list. So that'll be movies that I've only seen once, that if I'd seen them twice and feel the same way, they would have made this list. Or they would have been in the running, potentially. There are going to be more than 10, so. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Please like, comment what you thought of these movies, comment what you thought of my video, and subscribe. See you guys later.